It is morning, right?
Sorry, guys. We were a little bit late. I'll explain why here in a second.
By we, she actually means me.
Well, no, I actually was helping ship. We had a lot of shipping. Someone's coming to say hi as well.
Hi! I'm leaving today, but I just wanted to say good morning. Sorry, you're like looking up my nose awkwardly. Hello.
Good morning, guys. Give us just a second so I can get us logged into the tablet here so that I can see the chat. How's everybody's weeks going? Let me know down in the comments how many you guys had to ship this morning. We had a killer weekend. I think a couple things contributed to that, but let me know how your sales were this weekend and what you're shipping out.
I was bad this morning and didn't ship first thing, so I haven't done it
yet. She's lucky. I live in a smaller town than her, and the post office closest to me closes at I think like 3:30 or 4, and it also closes like in the middle of the day, so we kind of have to ship in the morning. But I used to live where she lives, and I think your post office it closes at 6, right? And it does not close in the middle of the day.
I don't think so.
So she could really ship it anytime. I do miss that a little bit.
I woke up way too early this morning. I just didn't feel like doing it.
Oh, no. Just kidding. Give me a second, guys. I don't have Nikki, and I'm a huge mess right now. 1 second.
And I have no idea what I'm doing, so I'm of no help.
1 second, you guys.
And if anyone doesn't know, I'm her sister.
Yeah.
I don't think we said that yet.
We're introducing her. Good morning, everybody. Ooh, shipping out 45 this morning. That's really good.
Great job.
Sold 11. That's awesome. The person that sold Lucky Finds, you sold 45 this morning. Is it just you, or do you have help? All right.
How many am I going to ship later?
So we're on mute, so you don't need to worry about that, but the chat's going to come right here. It may jump on you, so you just have to kind of keep scrolling as they come. Whatever's closest to the top is the most recent ones. So whenever somebody has a question, you can just interrupt me and ask the question, and this is a little thing right here.
Okay. If I miss anyone's questions, please forgive me. I've never done this before. You're welcome to type it again, but please don't take it personally. I'm not going to skip anyone intentionally. I'll do my best. Great job on 18. Oh, someone said they can see the resemblance. Is it the nose? It's probably the nose. Kind of like Lady Gaga or something.
She's a real blonde too, which is odd. So sometimes people don't see it. All right. Well, we have 40-ish people watching, 7 thumbs ups. Thank you to everybody that just gives us a thumbs up as soon as you come on. It really does help.
16 for the weekend. Good job.
Awesome. You got some of your shipping done Saturday. I'm starting to wonder if I need to do that. So let me tell you how many orders we have to ship out today. I don't know. Nikki, is this the most we've ever shipped out since you've been with me? No. Okay.
We're down by 1.
Okay. So our most that we've ever shipped out ever has been 79 orders. We have today 78 orders to ship out, which is why I was running a little bit behind to jump on the live, was because I was trying to help ship. Nikki's helping ship as well. Our new girl could have done it all herself, but we wanted to try and help her out because she does have a lot of other stuff to get done today. And if we do have like a kind of a rough shipping day, we try to usually every Monday's a rough shipping day for us, but we try to kind of help her out a little bit, help answering some questions. By the way, all the questions are done.
Thanks.
And those 2 orders we're not going to ship out yet because I'm waiting to hear back.
Okay.
So we try to help out a little bit and kind of offset the shipping and the questions so that she can, get to her listing today. But we usually get a little bit behind on Mondays because of that reason. So we had 78 orders to ship out. We had 55 on eBay and 25 on Poshmark. Do you know how many you had?
I know that I have 9 to ship on eBay, but I don't know how many on Poshmark. I had a slow weekend. I've been very inconsistent because I'm gonna make excuses here, but I don't mean it as in I couldn't have done better. We just moved and life, and we just picked up extra catering events in addition to my full-time job and my husband's full-time job, and I'm slacking. So
I'm sure you guys are gonna have questions for her, but do you mind sharing your name, or is that no good?
I don't care.
Okay, this is Shy. I try to be careful about how much I share because we do want to maintain privacy as much as possible.
Speaking of, someone's asking how far you are from a certain city. I don't know if you feel comfortable answering that before I...
Yeah, so we will answer questions after we go over our topic, but the Tommy Bernard podcast. I'm not going to tell you exactly how far, but I will tell you that I am aware of that city. I'm familiar with it. We are within a vicinity of all of that.
Joe Childress, I appreciate your encouragement. For me, I definitely was actually slacking though. So I just know, like, internally, I know that I did, but I really appreciate that. I know I'm still doing a great job. I appreciate you.
So I'm sure you guys are going to be really curious about Shy and her reselling journey. We are actually going to be filming a video today regarding that. So if you guys do ask too detailed of questions to her, I will have to say you're going to have to wait till that video comes out where we answer a lot of questions. I'm going to interview her and go over kind of her reselling journey. So just keep that in mind. If I say we're not going to answer, that's why. Childress like children. Shy is spelled S-H-A-I.
But if you're asking if I'm shy, the answer is absolutely not. At all.
So our topic for today, good morning everybody. Our topic for today was made by Shy. She actually came up with this idea. But we were going to talk about increasing thrift store prices. So I have some notes written down of what I am going to do to combat increasing thrift store prices and what I think you guys should do. But let me hear your thoughts on it so far.
Me? My thoughts on increasing prices?
Yeah.
I have definitely experienced some. Wait, am I waiting to answer any comments or questions?
Just
wait. Okay.
Let's talk about this first.
Okay. So the kind of un-eBay related, but I mean, I take my kids, I have 3 children, to childcare so that I can work because I do eBay full time. And like, I have to drive really far because we were offered a really good deal. And so the gas prices, with going up so much, it significantly actually has impacted me personally because I have to do all that driving, which is going to be changing here soon due to that. So I already made that change because of that. Definitely have seen an increase in multiple of the places that I source. Increases in like my shelving units, supplies, all of that. And so I recommended this to Cayley because it's so perfect for the time right now. As everything is increasing, it's very important to make sure that you are growing or decreasing your cost of goods or whatever. That button does something?
Yeah, it does a lot.
Wow. You know, back in my day, we didn't have stuff like this.
She's younger than me. Yeah, so I was going to just talk about, so first of all, do you guys notice in your area a rise in the increase of your cost of goods, your supplies, things like that? I order almost everything online as far as supplies go, and I've seen an increase. So I can't say like locally in my area I've seen an increase in supplies because I order stuff online usually, but I have noticed a slight increase in that. And just to combat even supplies, we're just looking for better deals. have you guys noticed an increase in your cost of goods in the area where you live? Because we definitely have. We talked a little bit about it on a live, Nikki and I did, but jeans used to be $4.99 like last year. Mm-hmm. They are $6.99 at all major Goodwills in our area, which is a huge increase. $2 more. I mean, you're talking about $7 when you pick up a pair of jeans. It used to be a category that you could flip pretty easily 5 into 25. Can no longer do that model.
There are some areas that are higher than that. Yeah. Maybe you just haven't been to them, but yeah.
For Goodwills?
Yeah.
Oh, wow.
I've seen some in like really expensive cities that are like $8.99 now.
Wow, that's crazy. Alrighty. Good morning, everybody.
That's awesome on your yard sale. I do love yard sales. I just went somewhere recently that I don't normally go. They're very small, like mom and pop, and I got everything for like 65 cents each, which was crazy. And I found there wasn't very much, but I found some really awesome new with tagged stuff. I'm not going to go there regularly because there's no point, but it was pretty cool to get everything for 65 cents. You can't even beat that at the bins.
78 items.
Hold on, I gotta test the watch. Watch out a second. Watch out a second. I gotta show you guys this. Look at Nikki.
I think we need a bigger wagon.
This is
No.
We are testing the limits for sure. All right, you're good. You're good.
You can come back now.
I had to show the teetering tower.
She's teetering.
All right, so let's talk about some things we can do to combat prices. Shai just mentioned one, which is yard sales. You've been going to yard sales. Typically, they're a lot cheaper.
Yes, I only work Monday through Friday though, is when I have childcare. So it would be very difficult for me at this point in time to go to like Saturday, Sunday ones, because that's when my husband works on Saturday and Sunday. So that's difficult for me. I can only really get Fridays, but do like it.
Yeah, I hear in general, and again, this may be different for whatever area you're shopping in, but in general, yard sales are a great way to get stuff for pretty cheap. I would say if you're doing yard sales, you probably want to go to a wealthier area, just in my opinion. I've tried yard selling in our area, which is by no means a wealthy area, and it was not that good. Like, there were not brands that people just value brands differently in certain cities, and for me, it's not very beneficial in my area to yard sale. I would have to go, probably drive pretty far, set my morning really early to get that done.
One thing that I experienced with doing what you just said, although I do agree with you, is I found out that there are a lot of people that have online stores, and I specifically found it in these areas that you're talking about, that they actually put their stuff, all of their inventory out for sale physically in a yard sale. Oh. I didn't realize people did that. I don't know how they manage ending it and stuff like that.
I would mess up.
But then I went there and I was like, well, I'm not paying $15 at a yard sale for your Nike sweatshirt. So just keep an eye out for that. They could kind of make it a little apparent when they list it online.
$7.99 for Old Navy jeans. Holy moly. Some of the vintage ones do good. Some of them might be worth it. What's some other things that you do to combat the increase in thrift store prices? You mostly shop at thrift stores.
Yes. Yeah. I've definitely gotten creative on how I'm storing my inventory in cardboard boxes now instead of in plastic totes. That's just my personal decision, not dissing anyone else.
Same.
I completely switched inventory systems, so can't think of anything else right now.
Yeah, so if you can't decrease your cost of goods, decreasing your supplies, she mentioned cardboard boxes. We also switched to that. I know some of you have noticed the cardboard banker boxes that we have. Even though they are still kind of expensive, to be honest with you, they're about, I can usually get them between like $4.50 and $5. That's still for me significantly cheaper than buying totes. My totes that I used to get are now like $7 to $10 each for the same amount of space, which is crazy. Just really quickly before we start getting into questions and comments,
I have a personal recommendation on saving. If by chance you have a family member that has a military discount,
Yeah.
take them with you.
Yeah.
Honestly, I'm always in there with my husband and he gets it. So because they know me, I don't know if this is bad or not. The Goodwill manager told me to go ahead and do it. So I'm just going to do what they tell me. They said that because they know me, they know I always have that discount. They give it to me even if my husband happens not be there. So a lot of places will give you 20% off. It's significant. Use it.
I think some of them told you as well that you could take a picture of the military ID.
That's what I do.
As proof.
Yeah.
So if you have somebody in your family with a military ID where you could get a military discount if they are with you, either take them with you or maybe ask the manager or employee if you bring a picture of their military ID if you'd be able to use it. I mean, that's a great saving hack. I've used that a couple times as well. So some other things you can do, just in general, increase your average sale price, your ASP. Instead of picking up brands that you used to pick up that sell for $20 to $25, now that prices have increased, maybe it's time to go ahead and increase your average sale price and focus on goods that are going to sell a lot higher and have a higher sell-through rate. One way we increase our ASP is by solely focusing on new racks and always knowing what the new color is. Typically, the higher ASP items that are getting put out are the newer items because they're less picked through. So it's really important, in my opinion, as far as our sourcing model goes, to know what the new color tag is. And recently, if you guys watched that Thrift with me video, we actually have a rolling list now of the order in which the colors go. So we'll know in order what's going to be the new color, what's going to drop off and be 50% off. Brings me to my next point, learn your sale days. This is something that I don't think I do enough. I know there's some stores you go to where you go on their monthly 50% off day. But I just in general don't always know what the sales days are at thrift stores, and that's something we're starting to write down. Before, I used to not really participate in them because they were too chaotic and you have to get there right when they open because there's a lot of lines and we just can't get there early enough with our schedule. But learning the sale days, participating in sales days if you don't already go, can be a great way to offset your costs. And then frequenting the bins. How do you feel about the bins?
The bins itself, I like. Not always the people there.
Yeah.
But no, I get 20% off there with my husband's military discount, which is phenomenal. But definitely worth going for sure. I love going there. Yeah. But maybe it's just because my sister's there.
Yeah, I don't like going by myself. So if Nikki can't go, I usually text her and I'm like, "Are you going to the bins?" Because it's just me. But yeah, going to the bins, if you're somebody who's been shy about it before, now would be a really great time to get into the bins. And then just in general, my last tip for you before we dive into comments and questions is think about local buying. We've been kind of putting our feelers out there with some people that we know, posting some things on Facebook, and we've actually gotten a few leads on people who are willing to either A, donate their stuff for free to us to sell, or B, sell us for really cheap. The worst thing somebody can say is no. So if you see somebody posting a big lot of stuff on Facebook Marketplace, maybe reach out to them, tell them you're a reseller, and say in the future if they're cleaning out their closet that they could reach out to you and then you could give them money for it. So it helps a small business. I know some people on Facebook are kind of weird about resellers, but times are changing. Reselling is becoming popular, and I think for the most part, people are okay with it now.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So I mean, my purpose in it is sustainability and just, you know, reusing. So it's not bad.
Yeah.
And someone's going to buy the stuff from the thrift store anyway.
Right.
It's not going to a homeless person. Sorry, it's not. It still costs money and I'm paying for it. So
yeah. Love the bins, on my way now. Okay. So those are all the tips that I have about offsetting, combating the increasing thrift store prices. If you guys have any, drop them in the comments below. We're going to start blasting through comments. You'll want to scroll to the very top. Okay. We don't need to read every comment, but if there are any questions, I see a lot of people. CC Love Grace, thank you. Good morning.
Has anyone tried my reseller Genie? Honestly, never even heard of it, so I Don't know, but if anyone else has, feel free to comment.
CC Love Grace, what is my reseller genie? I feel like I've heard of it. Is that kind of like Posher VA? Good morning, everybody. Took advantage of the Poshmark closet clear out yesterday. You know, that's something that I really don't take advantage of. Do you use that a lot?
Not very much.
Yeah. So one thing I just learned with my Posher VA extension, which I think you use too, right?
What?
Posher VA, the one that shares your stuff for you.
Yes. Sorry, I was thinking.
No, you're fine. So they just started a new, I won't say it's a new feature, but it's like a new detail of that feature where in addition to sharing your items, you can send offers, links down below in the description with a coupon code and a free trial, blah, 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 blah. If you want to try it, Posher VA is awesome and it's very affordable. But one new feature they have just regarding Poshmark Closet Clear Out, if you guys don't know, Poshmark Closet Clear Out is certain days where Poshmark will say if you drop your prices at least 10%, they'll offer discounted shipping to all of your watchers that get that notification about the drop prices. Posher VA has a drop prices like action that you can use, and they have a new feature where you can tell it to only drop prices of things that are so many days old. So we've talked about 90 days in, 90 days out. We have chosen to once a month drop prices of everything that are 90 days or older. I was only doing that on eBay though. I wasn't sure how that would work on Poshmark, but I tested it out the other day. It might have honestly been on Closet Clear Out Day because I had a ton of sales that day when we dropped prices. So maybe I need to take advantage of that Closet Clear Out and just use Posher VA. It only takes like a couple seconds for me to tell Posher VA to do that if I notice it's a Closet Clear Out Day. It was super beneficial, and it to my knowledge, did not change my item numbers in the List Perfectly listing.
I recently had a buyer messaging me on Poshmark about wanting to take advantage of the closet clear out and get that shipping discount. And she tried to make an offer, or I sent her an offer or something like that on this bra, and it ended up not reflecting the discount for her. I don't know why. We couldn't figure it out. She ended up not buying it.
Doesn't work sometimes then?
I don't know. I don't know what happened.
Good morning. Good morning. I was watching a high-speed chase from Logan to Columbus is why they have a really awesome cop that live streams his shifts at night while working.
So it was like yesterday night or something? Last night?
Wow. What's is that on YouTube? I need to look into that. That sounds interesting. I always love watching cops and things like that. It was always fun until they took it down. Looked at this morning at yard sales, picked up 60 shirts at 25 cents a piece. My kids are already helping. Or wait, and with my kids' help, already have at least half of them listed. Dang, that's awesome. You're gonna have to put your kids to work when they get old enough.
Yeah, they're not old enough.
Tommy Bahama and True Religions, $30 to $40. Yeah, we've seen that as well. It's funny. Different thrift stores, what they'll like decide is valuable. Some thrift stores will price American Eagle at like $20 to $25. It's insane. Go ahead and start scrolling down. Let's see if we have any questions. Pants and shoes, $9.99. Yeah. Joe, poor Nikki. She was having a good time. We actually enjoy shipping every now and then. Yard sales are so hard to find now since the yard sale treasure map isn't good anymore. Is it not good anymore? Because I've been thinking about looking at that recently. I think so. Yard sale treasure map, to my knowledge, pulls listings from Craigslist, and that's how they're putting all that on their map is from Craigslist listings. I think there's just a decline in people using Craigslist because I've gone on there to like look for new places to live or furniture or like pets. Sometimes people just don't use it. I think it's more of like a Facebook marketplace thing now. So that might be why you see a decline in that.
At least last summer, I think it was last summer, I was using a different site. I think it was like Garage Sale Finder or something like that. But there are definitely other like websites that you can use too. I mean, maybe since last year they have not been using them as much. Everyone's reselling their stuff now instead of having a yard sale.
Yeah. Polly B. Picker. Goodwill and Salvation Army are all raising prices. Hack. One of our local chains does a 48-cent sale day. You said you pick up a bunch of dud brands like Van Heusen's and lot them together as wholesale boxes. That's a good idea. I'm picking up stuff to do lots. Scored big at 4 of them this last Saturday. That's awesome. I just like thrift. I just like yard sales, like, for myself too. I just think it's fun to go to, even in my area, just not to look for reselling.
I don't know why, but yard sales give me a little bit more anxiety.
Yeah, it's because you're going into people's personal, like, property and home.
Yeah, and sometimes I try to haggle with them, and that makes me feel uncomfortable.
Thrift and Sista, you use banker boxes too. You love them. It's been a really big game changer for us. They're kind of bulky, kind of heavy and awkward, but they fit perfectly in our shelves. I mean, there's like this much space in between everything, so we're using up all of our space, which has been really nice. And I would say it fits probably like 25 to 30 items per box.
Joe, your Goodwill stopped doing color tags. That's kind of crazy.
Really?
Has anyone else's stores done that? Thrift stores?
Senior citizen discount, that's good. Some thrift stores also do like a student discount. Scroll up for me for a minute. Just reading some of the comments. Scroll down. Some Polybags from Boxery. I haven't heard of that website. Yeah, I've been looking into some bulk stuff.
She said it was an accounting system, web-based for resellers.
Oh, the Reseller Genie? I have not tried that. I've heard of it, but I guess I didn't really know what it was. I just do my own accounting. I hesitate to say that because I know everybody's going to ask in the comments about that, but hoping to do like kind of a bookkeeping video soon to share kind of what we do for accounting / bookkeeping. But no, I haven't tried anything like that. I'm very like old school, maybe not as old school. It's not pen and paper, but I do love spreadsheets and I just make my own. You can also use List Perfectly. I don't know, do you try that? Like you can mark things as sold and they create the data for you, but you really have to keep up with it within List Perfectly as stuff sells. No? Okay. Well, there's some like accounting stuff you can do in List Perfectly. Like it really is a one-stop shop.
I don't delete, once my stuff sells, I don't delete it or anything or mark it as sold, because if I want to make a draft from it, I keep it so that I can like type it in and be like, oh, I have another Tommy Bahama shirt to sell.
Yeah,
so I just keep it.
Shies.
Eventually there'll be millions on there though if I don't delete anything.
Yeah. You want to read Jennifer's question?
Maybe if I can find it.
Right there.
Oh. How to find an online VA, virtual assistant, because your daughter's about to have a baby and you will need help.
Is there a good site to find help? I have never personally gone through any hiring site to find help so far. It has all been me posting on my local Facebook, asking for either people that I know personally or referrals from people that I know personally. And for me, I have never had an issue finding help. I think it's because in our area, minimum wage is so low that because I'm able to offer way more than above one minimum wage, that it's very enticing for a lot of people. So we never seem to have issues, at least in my area, finding a person. I choose to go that route. I personally don't like the idea of only having somebody online. I liked having that interaction with people, being able to sit down, and when we have changes, you know, sitting down and physically showing them like the changes or what I expect from them, or, you know, even disciplinary action. And the online VA that I used to have that I no longer have was still somebody that I interviewed in person, met, and lived in my area. So I personally suggest making a post on Facebook, but do you know of any?
I personally, of all the, YouTube that I've watched and resellers that I've come into contact with, they've all basically said the same thing that Cayley just said, that a lot of the time their experiences with those has been more of a headache. And while you do normally pay significantly less to, someone in another country or something like that, you pay for what you get.
Yeah.
And so it can be very, very much worth it to just hire someone physically, because what is that statistic where when you train someone, they're only going to do it like 75% or something like that you are going to do it. And that's probably training someone in person. So just think about that. They might only do it 50% to the capability that you can do it if you're only training them online.
Yeah, I think it was like Chris at Daily Refinement. He hired a couple of online virtual assistants just because they were super cheap, and they worked for him for however long, let's just say like 6 months to a year. And all that time they were doing things not correctly, or not, I guess, to the fullest that they could. And so then later he talked about having to go back and correct all of those listings, and how it wasn't really worth saving that money. So I would totally agree with that. Personally, I choose to hire somebody locally, even if they're only going to be an online VA. So I would just kind of put your feelers out. If you're comfortable with it, I get not wanting to hire somebody but maybe someone could refer you somebody. And that's actually the new girl that we have. I did not know her at all. She actually just saw the post online. So that was pretty cool, and she's been really awesome.
Joe said, if you're near a college, hang out till the end of the term. A lot of people leave stuff behind, and that she has personally scored big on that. That's a great tip. Thanks for that.
Yeah, that is a good tip.
You can think of that in other things too.
You want to just go through the questions? I see BC Enterprise has one. You can just read them as they are.
What is your opinion on a great name brand rain jacket that has the name written inside, meaning you want to write your own name, or meaning the logo?
I think he means, or she. I think they mean that they purchased it, but the name was written on the inside.
Opinion. Sorry.
Will somebody still buy it?
Try to understand.
I personally have still purchased things. I think as long as the marker's not bleeding through to the outside, it should be fine. I would make sure it is like a really good brand though. Has a good sell-through rate typically, but I don't think I wouldn't worry about it too much. We've sold stuff with the names on the inside.
Yeah, I have quite a few of those, and I've never had an issue with it.
I think the issue that people have with resellers is selling products that are needed to survive for outrageous prices. Today I'm going out looking for formula to help others, not for profit at all. It's a good point. Go ahead and scroll. With Nikki out, will you have more Xbox time today?
Guys, yeah, that's actually why I came down.
I don't act like I do not have time to play games anymore. Like, I wish I did, but to be honest with you, I like rarely play anymore. It's the
hustle's too real.
Yeah, the hustle's too real. I wish. No, with Nikki gone, that usually means I have more work to do.
Right.
Nikki usually handles.
Oh, Yard Sale Treasure Map lost their contract with Craigslist. Thank you for that information.
Okay, that makes sense. Well, I wonder, so are they just relying on like the users to post?
How much time do you spend on bookkeeping? The minimum amount possible to do it accurately.
So I would say probably, if I had to average it out, maybe like 2 hours a month. I usually do it monthly. I need to be better about doing it weekly, but I usually wait and let all my receipts stack up for an entire month. And then typically on like the first of the month or the second or the third of the month, once those reports populate in eBay and Poshmark, and I know that they're going to be there, that's when I'll start doing my bookkeeping from the previous month. And I honestly just pull the reports. It takes a couple seconds, add them onto my spreadsheet. The biggest time for me is usually having to enter my receipts.
Same.
Yeah. So I do that about monthly. Honestly, with how much we're sourcing, I might need to start doing that like bi-weekly. But I would say on average, I just sat down and did like longer than I'd care to admit a backlog of receipts, and it took me a couple hours. So I would say in general, if I was not hustling, about a couple hours to do it properly. But I think you could probably get it done in about, if you're not sourcing as much as us, it should take you about an hour or less. Because again, all that data is populated by the platforms you're selling on. Like, there's no reason that you should need to record every sale every single day. Yeah, like they are already making the reports for you. So for me, it's really easy.
Patricia Phoenix, you don't know what sharing is, so we're specifically talking about Poshmark. There will be a symbol if you go to a listing, or you can do it in bulk now, that almost looks like a recycling symbol. So it's two arrows going butt to butt. And if you click on that, excuse me, you can share it to all of your followers. But not only does it go to your followers, it will also bump you up. If someone specifically looks for an item like yours, it will bump it up, because the algorithm, but the order that it will come up is usually by just shared, unless they change it. That's the default. And so even though it's only going to your followers, it's still overall to everyone on Poshmark is going to bump you up. So it's important to do that if you're able to, multiple times a day. Use Posher VA to do that for us, so that we're not doing it manually anymore. So depending on how many items you have, it may definitely be worth saving your time and just paying for that. It was definitely worth it for me. When I made the switch, I never went back.
If you're like super new and you haven't even got on Poshmark yet, or maybe you're just on Poshmark, sharing is just simply an action where you click a couple buttons and it essentially refreshes your item. That's what sharing is. But I think they're sorting by default best match now, aren't they?
Are they?
I believe they are.
You said on Poshmark?
I think so. I do still think that sharing is important, but I've been going back and forth with what they're going to do as far as what's going to be the default.
Mine, it still says just shared.
Okay, so it's still defaulting by just shared. I know they've gone back and forth.
You in California filled up your car for $100. I've heard a lot of people in California and their prices, so that's kind of crazy.
Yeah, I combated prices by getting a more fuel efficient car this year. It's been really nice. I track everything in Excel and then give my totals to my husband at the end of the year, and he completes our taxes. That's a good idea. I always recommend getting a CPA if you're somebody that really doesn't understand taxes. You can learn things yourself. There are courses, but once you start to have more and more sales, and if you're not super familiar with how taxes work, it can be really complicated and very cumbersome. And sometimes it's just worth it to go ahead and pay an accountant or a CPA. I can't easily find my costs per item on eBay. Joe, you have to input your cost per item if you want it to populate in your report. We use the SKU to put our individual cost of goods, and then when something sells, that information goes along with it. And so when I pull a report, it also pulls my SKU, which therefore is my cost of goods, and I'm able to track that individually if I want to.
Church rummage sales. Yes, I once found this vintage, beautiful Coach leather bag for like 25 cents. And I was like, wow, someone really didn't know what this was or didn't care about it, because I sold that for a good penny.
GoDaddy syncs it all. Yeah, there are some that sync with eBay and other platforms, so that could be a really great option.
When you get an online VA, do you give them your passwords?
So again, I'm not super familiar with all of these sites that contract out online VAs. Some of them you do, some of them you don't. Some of them have kind of almost like a wall in between where you give the website your password, they don't get your password, and the website kind of protects you in that way. But I think for most of them, I'm going to say, yeah, they're going to probably need your password, because they got to go in and make listings for you. So it's possible. And that's I'm not saying to use it for this, but if you are going to get a VA, one of the things I used to do until we completely trusted our online VA, something you could do is you could use List Perfectly to start your listings in there, have them only start your listings on List Perfectly and put your photos and all that. and then you can be the one to push them out to other platforms. That way they don't have your password to those other platforms. But eBay has like, I don't think any other platform has this yet, but eBay has, you can create employees and you can give them limited access, and I believe you can give them their own passwords. So we trust the employees that we currently have now, so they have access, like full access. We share the same password, but those are a couple things you can do to kind of combat having an online person when you don't want to share your own password.
Jo said she meant to say that her listing fees and promotional fees per item is what she can't find easily. So you're trying to find it per item rather than like as a whole?
Yeah. Jo, you don't need to necessarily track every, again, this is just my own advice. This is not tax advice, but the way we do it is we just track how much our total fees were on each platform, not individually per item, but for the entire month. And that's what you can find on those spreadsheets. Although I do still think that when you pool your spreadsheets, I do still think that it does pool individually, like your fees and stuff. You can see them individually per item.
And it's a beautiful spreadsheet that you're going to love.
Yeah.
She said that she likes spreadsheets.
Yeah. So it should be on there individually, but personally, I just go to the performance tab on eBay. I sort by date. It has a quick breakdown of your numbers. I input those into my spreadsheet, but if you wanted to, you could pull each individual like order, and I do think it has like a cost breakdown of everything. I think eBay also sends you an invoice every month, so you can still go into the invoice, and it also has like an entire breakdown of everything. Poshmark's a little bit different, but if you pull their spreadsheet again individually, it is on there. Whenever I finally get around to making a bookkeeping video, I'll show you how we pull those reports and kind of where everything's at. What was at the bottom?
That is the bottom.
I love making spreadsheets. I like spreadsheets too.
Oh, she likes making specifically.
Okay. All right, well, it's 9:44. We're about 15 minutes over. We're not going to go as long today because we got some stuff to do. So
I think Jo just volunteered to do all of our taxes.
Yeah. You can make all the spreadsheets.
Go get credited, Jo. We could eventually, when this YouTube channel gets very large, we could hire a professional CPA.
Yeah, one CPA I do recommend. It's not your dad's CPA. I think his name is Mark II. I took his class, course. It is a little bit pricey, but to me it was really worth it to take that course because he is an actual CPA and he also resells, so he understands reselling taxes for resellers. You can also contact him and he can do your taxes for you as like an online CPA. So if you haven't looked it up yet, Not Your Dad's CPA is one that I definitely recommend. Again, you can take his course for like a do-it-yourself. It is kind of pricey, but it's worth it in my opinion. Or you can use him as an actual CPA. So look that up if you haven't already.
Yeah, Jo, I was just joking. About 56% of the things I'll say are going to be sarcastic, so you'll have to weigh those out.
All right, guys. Well, thanks for getting on today. We have 98 people. Before I end this live, if you guys would take a second and give us a thumbs up. We've got 98 people watching, 38 thumbs up. We're about to hop off of here, and I'm going to interview Shy. So if you're not already and you would like to be notified when that interview goes live, make sure you subscribe down below and also hit the notification bell. You got anything you want to say?
I don't think so.
Okay. If you enjoyed having her on, drop the comments down below. I'm sure we can convince her to come again.
Possibly. As long as Cayley will have her Xbox here.
All right, guys. Everybody have a good one.